Dakota bought 8 lilies, priced at 2 lilies for this much. He also bought 15 daffodils, priced at 3 daffodils for $3.78. What was the total price of the flowers, not including tax? Well, this group of daffodils right here were priced 2 for $3.84. He bought 8 of those. All right, well, if 2 of them are $3.84, shouldn't 8 of them be 4 times this? Because 2 will go into 8 4 times. We need to multiply that by 4. So 384 times 4, that's 6. 1, that's 32, 33. Carry the 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So the first one we got 1536. And remember, we carry our decimal over 2 places because is what we got there. He also bought 15 daffodils, priced at 3 daffodils for $3.78. Okay. Well, if 3 daffodils are $3.78, and he bought 15, 3 will go into 15 5 times, so we need to multiply this by 5. 378 times 5, that's 0. Carry the 4, that's 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Carry the 3, this is going to be 18. So $18.90, we're going to move the decimal place over twice. What was the total price of the flowers? All of them, in other words. So we're going to have $18.90 here, plus this, that's 6, 2, 1, that's 13, 14, 1, 34, 26. Choice D. If Julie earns $8.76 an hour, 76 cents an hour at a job, last week she worked 32 and a half hours. How much did she earn last week? Well, for 1 hour I get $8.76. For 2 hours I get something like $17 and so on. Well, you just need to multiply the amount made per hour. Per hour. So that means for every hour you make this much. Well, if I work 32 and a half hours, I got to multiply 8.76 by 32.5. And when we're multiplying, we don't have to line up the decimal place. We do have to count over later. All right. So 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. That's 35. Plus 3 is 38. Carry the 3 again. 5 times 8 is 40. Plus 3 is 43. Don't forget your 0. And here you're going to have another 0 in just a second. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. Three times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. Carry the 2. 3 times 8 is 24, 25, 26. And we add all these guys up. 0. 0 again. Carry the 1. That's 8. Plus 1 is 9. Plus 8 is 17. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 7 is 12. 13, 14. Carry the 1. 26 plus 2 is 28. We have 1, 2, 3 places behind the decimal, so I got to move this 1, 2, 3. Looks like the total is 284.70. Choice D. Each lap around Spring Park is 2 3/8 miles. So if we run around once, it's 2 3/8. Run around again, it's 2 3/8. Again, and so on. Terrence walked 2.5 laps, so he said 1, 2 1/2. How many miles did Terrence walk? Well, if each lap is this, and he walked this many laps, we just need to multiply those two, which is going to give us 2 1/2 times 2 3 over 8. Well, the easiest way for us to do this is to change this into an improper fraction and just multiply straight across. This changes from 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. This is 16, 17, 18, 19 over 8. And we can't cross cancel here, unfortunately. This is going to give us 95. Take my word for it, you'll have to do the math yourself. Over 16. Well, this is an improper fraction, so we still have to divide it out and get ourselves a mixed number. 95 is going to go in the house. 16 is on the outside. Okay. 16 will go into 95 about 5 times, I think, without going over. See, this should be 0 and then 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. With a remainder of 15. As long as your remainder is less than this number, you're okay. So now we have 5 and 15 over 16, or 5 and 15 sixteenths miles. We are going to get rid of 33 because I don't like this question. It's difficult to tell whether it means 6 more days or whatever, so we're just going to go ahead and scratch 33. Here we have a division problem, but we have a negative and a positive. We only have room for 2 negative signs or 0. Well, we've already got 1, and we can't just have 1, so we got to have another one. Our answer is going to be negative, so go ahead and circle that up here. Now, we need to convert this to an improper fraction. This is okay, but we need to convert that. So that's going to be 11 over 5 divided by 1 over 10. Now we need to keep, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal. We're going to keep 11 over 5. We're going to multiply, keep, change, and we're going to flip this to 10 over 1. Well, I can multiply straight across and have 110 over 5. Or I can cross cancel here and have 11 over 1 times 2 over 1, which is 22 over 1, which is 22. Now careful, this is a negative. It's going to be negative 22. Pens are going on sale for 79 cents each. Tammy is going to buy as many pens as she can. She's got $13.50 to spend. How many pens can Tammy buy? Well, if she's got this much money and they're this much a piece, you have to divide. That's going to be $13.50 divided by 0.79. Well, as you know, we cannot divide by decimal, so we have to move the decimal over twice to here. If we do that here, we have to do it here, which turns this into 79 into 1,350. Now remember, all you really need is the whole number because you cannot buy half a pen. Okay? Remember, you cannot buy it. This is like that time we did that problem on, how many vans would you have to rent? Well, you can't rent half of a van. Okay. Well, 79 won't go into 13, but it'll go into 135 once without going over. We got to bring our 79 down here and subtract. That leaves us with 15 minus 9, which is 6. That changes this to a 2. Well, again, we have to borrow from the 1, make that a 0. That makes this a 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. We got to bring down our 0, though. Okay. 79 into 560 is right at 7. 7 times 79 is going to be 3, 6. That's 49 plus 6 is 55. That's going to leave us with 7. Bring down the 0. That won't go in there at all. And and you end up with something like 17.88888. Well, I don't have enough money to buy the 18th pin. Okay, I can only buy either 17 or 18, and I don't have the money to buy the 18th pin. I don't just round up. All right, so that is not the choice. Answer is C. Seventh grade class made 250 cards. They made 250 cards. So far, they've delivered 95 of them. What percentage of the total number of cards made have been delivered? Basically, what you're saying is, I've got 95. What percentage of 250 is 95? Okay. Well, in order to find out the percentage, and this is going to look really funny, but you've got to say 95 over 250. Okay. Then you have to divide this by this to get a decimal, and then you've got to convert that decimal then to a percentage. Okay. So if you want to figure out what percent of 250 is 95, you have to divide the small number by the big in this case. 95 goes in the house. Go ahead and put yourself a few zeros in your decimal place here. 250 is going to go right outside here. Well, 250 will not go into 95, but it will go into 950. And it'll go about 3 times without going over. You multiply that out, that is 750 with a remainder of 200. Bring down your 0. 250 will evenly go into 2,000 8 times. So you're left with an answer of 0.38. But you're not done. You have to convert that to a percentage. What percent of the total number have been delivered? To convert a decimal to a percent, you move the decimal place over to the right. Remember, when we were converting a percentage to a decimal, we moved it to the left. Well, when you're converting a decimal to a percent, you have to move it to the right. That gives us 38. That's percent. Choice D. .36. Avery visited her family in Minneapolis. 4 days in January, the low temperatures were as follows: -1, -6, -4, and 16. What was the mean low temperature for all 4 days? Now, this is going to seem like a really unusual problem here, but you've got to add all these up. You've got a -1 plus a -6 plus a -4 plus 16. And we're going to be going in order from left to right because in the order of operations, subtraction or addition, they're not superior to each other. You just have to go from left to right. And let's just take these one at a time right here. -1 plus a -6 is the same thing as -1 minus 6, but we have an addition, so we can use our song here. Same signs, add and keep. 1 plus 6 is 7. Let's take the sign of the furthest number, which is -6. So we've got a -7. Rewrite everything. So this is done. We had to plus our -4 plus 16. Okay. Well, now let's just start all over from the left to the right. Let's go ahead and add this guy up. You have to do it one at a time. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs, subtract. So we have the same side, so we're going to add. 7 plus 4 is 11. Take the sign of the furthest number, which is right here. -11 plus 16. Now we're just left with this. We're still doing addition. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs. We're going to subtract. We have a negative and a positive here. So 16 minus 11 is 5. Take the sign of the furthest number. In this case, it's positive 16. So we have an answer of positive 5. But it said, and now if you're not careful, you're just going to select C. But it says, what is the mean temperature for the 4 days? So I've added all these up. Now I have to divide by 4 to get my mean. Well, 5 goes in the house. 4 goes outside. It's not going to go evenly. Let's bring our decimal point up. This is going to go in here once without going over. That's 5. I'm sorry, that's 4. 1. I'll go in there twice. Have an 8 down here. 5. 1.25. Well, I've got a major problem because I don't have decimals in my answers here. All I have is fractions. Well, I got to remember that 1.25 is the same as 1 and 25 over 100, or the same as 1 and 1 over 4 once you reduce that. So the answer is A. Matthew had $67 in his bank account. He used his debit card to buy 3 pairs of shorts at a cost of $16.95 each. Then he bought 2 t-shirts at a cost of $8 each, which shows his account balance after these transactions. Well, he started out with 67. Now we have debits. Okay. How many of these did he buy? He bought 3. $16.95 times 3. That's 27, 28. He spent a total of $50.85 on those shorts. And 2 shirts at $8 a piece. 2 times 8 is 16. So he spent $16 and $50.85, which leaves him to spending a total of $66.85. Okay. Well, he started out with $67. Well, if you have $67 and you spend $66.85, to find out how much you got left, you just subtract. Okay. He's left with a grand total of 15 cents, which is C.